Waffle and Method Juice Cafe. Waldeck, well intercepted, falls right back to him, and now Joe Gallardo in behind, spurring the fan support. As the cheers raise, it will be a corner kick for Velocity FC. Really the first chance we've seen the hosts get this far forward. It was a headed play for the first goal of the weekend, or rather of the midweek in the US Open Cup, as the ICCU corner kick will have to wait just a moment. In swinging ball from Gallardo. And Stefani didn't get there. As a goalkeeper, that's always a little bit of a gamble. If you come out of your area, you really need to get a piece of the ball, or you have a wide open goal behind you. Backed up well by his defense. There's now another in-swinging corner on the way, this time from Derek Waldeck. ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. Waldeck started his pro career back in 2020 with North Texas. It's a good delivery from him. Headed away. Hill looking to work it back into the mixer. Denton had some space, and the idea was a clever one, and the execution maybe left lacking. Nico Brett running it down. Spokane stepping forward defensively, cutting off those passing lanes as Guenzati goes over. And wins a free kick right outside of the midfield circle. That is the sort of experience you look for out of Sebastian Guenzati, 34 years of age, the Montevideo native. Born in Uruguay, but moved to Queens at age 12. Played across this country, especially with multiple clubs at the USL Championship. Played the full 90 last week for New York. He's been a leader from day one, said his head coach, Davide Corti. That's exactly what this young squad needs. Again, Guenzati, 34 years of age, but the average age for the starting lineup tonight is just 25 for the Cosmos. A youthful squad, ready to make their impact on the pros, littered with veteran leaders, as a poor touch out of play will result in another corner kick for the visitors. Sadol over to take the ICCU corner kick. Interesting formation this in the box for New York. We'll see if it pays off, and instead the header comes off a green shirt last. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. First ever meeting between these two sides. Seeing a good bit of back and forth, but yet to really open up. And that may favor Spokane a bit. New York's opening match against the Portland Hearts of Pine was more akin to a basketball game. Back and forth, 1,000 miles an hour. Hard for teams to really set their feet, find their shape, do what they do best, and impose their philosophy. So now with a more measured tempo to this match, Spokane can find their footing a little bit. Here's Joe Gallardo. Miller. Spielman saw no way forward. Vignal searching for one. Denton. Not a lot of wasted movement for Spokane. Nico Brett staying static. Not making those runs in behind just yet. And again, a big factor for that is the volume of matches that the hosts have had this week. Might see more passes to feet rather than into space. Stefani trying to draw the press out a little bit. Now Galazzini. Intercepted in midfield by Denton. And Nico Brett was stretching out for it. That was the spark to start the counter. Jack Denton did so well to read the pass. It was his own pass that let him down in the end. Chavez. Galazzini. That's the sort of impetus that Davide Galazzini is trying to embody for this side tonight, driving right at his mark. Had the 1-2, wanted to unlock a measured, well-regimented Spokane defense as they've managed to unlock New York at the back here. Fitch made the underlapping run, lays it back off to Siobhan John Brown. Cross deflected. Poor clearance by Anderson Holt. Got another bite of the apple. Anderson Holt, former teammates with Joe Gallardo at Union Omaha last year. Both key pieces on Omaha's run to the 2024 USL League One Championship, defeating Spokane in the final. Last year, Spokane got to host their first ever USL League One playoff games right here at One Spokane Stadium. They made it back to the final. This time it was One Knox emerging victorious. Pretty impressive for a club in just its third year of existence. Trying to make it 3 for 3. Here's Nico Brett. Getting creative. Gallardo is there. So too was the clearance at the near post from Jordan Chavez. Nearing the halfway point of the first half here. Philip Galati with you. Spokane Velocity and New York Cosmos face off for the first time in USL League One. Neither goalkeeper yet to be tested thus far, and a long whistle from the referee. Justin Milovanov, the guilty party. As Joe Gallardo wins a free kick in a promising spot. Almost a mirror image to that free kick against Ventura County Fusion. It's a great tackle to win the ball. It's a two-handed shove there, and it's certainly a foul, nothing more than that. But it was a free kick played deep into the box that Derek Waldeck got ahead to and drew the winning penalty in the US Open Cup. Instead, it's Vignal to send it in, and unmarked at the back post. New York with a communication breakdown. It was a very high line from the visitors, who restart play quickly. Looked like Simon Fitch stuck out a leg for it as it escaped him in the sunlight. Stefani again forced to go long out of the back, having a little bit of trouble with the ball at his feet, and that's a great win in midfield by Davide Galazzini, trying to stretch his legs, and a beautiful sliding challenge on the part of Jack Denton to foil his plans. Now things starting to open up a little bit more. Windermere Foundation is thrilled to welcome our Charity of the Month. It's more than a home, it's a way to give back. Please visit our site at www.windermerefoundation.com. Waldeck, lovely idea. One-time pass might have gone through the legs of his defender. The speed of Spokane's play just going up a couple notches. More one-touch, two-touch passing. Now it's about consistency of connecting those passes. Miller just about got it away. Spielman. Spielman with 85 appearances under his belt the last 3 years for the Charlotte Independents. League One second team selection the year before last. Brett, great ball to the far side, left behind by Fitch, who gets it back from Siobhan John Brown. A lovely flowing move from Spokane, and they get the opener. There is that one-touch passing coming into play. Jack Denton wheels away in celebration in the 25th minute. This starts with the dummy of Simon Fitch, who leaves it behind for Siobhan John Brown. Fitch cuts it back. Denton laying out for it, tucks it away into the side netting. A lightning fast move for the hosts. Jack Denton came off the bench against Union Omaha last weekend, starts tonight, gets his first goal of the season. Denton, a native of London, England, played his college ball with Missouri State, had the second most starts in that school's history. As now Siobhan John Brown goes down, referee sounds the whistle. Maybe further punishment as well. It looked like a promising attack, and the yellow card is out. Massimo Morabito will pick up the first caution of the night. And how quickly has this match sprung to life for Spokane? Quiet start, New York saw some opportunities, they get a well-worked goal, and then right the other way again. Jack Denton with his first goal in 336 days to get this one underway. Only had one goal all of last year. Joe Gallardo or Derek Waldeck could double the tally. It is Joe Gallardo! Stings the outside corner. Only a fraction wide of that upper 90. Difficult from that angle to whip it back with the pace. Stefani went airborne. Almost made it back on frame in time. Vinyals with the tackle, and the ball went out of play. Oh, and that's a harsh challenge. Player goes down holding his head. Yellow card already out for Cameron Miller. Take another look at it, and it's just an awkward fall. Sebastian Guenzati, who drew the foul, you can see there is contact to the upper body there. Remember, no VAR in USL League One. You can see some of the New York Cosmos players crowding the referee, appealing for violent conduct. Didn't look like there was much intention in that from Cameron Miller. Any sort of upper body injury is an immediate stoppage per the laws of the game. Zadi appears to be all right. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Make sure to tune in to some of those USL Championship matchups tonight after to get a look at that new ball. Spengler to send it in. Find a teammate in green. Second opportunity will be a foot race that is impossible to win. Elite minds, unlock your mind, unlock your game. Visit our website today. Spokane fans serenading once again. The tune might be cut short here. Galazzini. Eric Waldeck went into the challenge. May have come off his arm in the end, but didn't look like there was much in it. And it's an excellent switch to Siobhan John Brown, and look at the space for Spokane. Beautiful ball forward, and a scuffed finish from Nico Brown. An inch-perfect pass played into him, and again, you see the speed of Spokane's offense. How quickly they get forward, get opportunities. Nico Brett will want that one back. Looked like he stepped into it well, might have just taken his eye off of it. Challenge made, referee waves advantage. Vinyals on a tear. Two defenders to beat and stays upright. Nico Brett got in the way of the pass to the far side. Marancio taking his time. Just a chance for Velocity to reset their shape a bit. About a quarter an hour to go in this first half. Brett. And into space, Siobhan John Brown won it well. There were numbers there to counter for Spokane if that ball was a little bit more precise, as this is a great run in behind, and the flag will stay down. Work to do for New York, and hammered away from danger. Vinyals shaping another pass forward. Waldeck is onside. Unselfish play for Luis Heel! Bouncing effort. Just wide in the end as Stefani laid out for it. Didn't look like it had the pace to get there from Luis Heel, but again, taking his chances. It's exactly what head coach Lee Veman would want to see from his guys. bad idea either to keep it low against a 6'4" goalkeeper. Gallardo, John Brown took a deflection. Excellent touch to take that out of the air. Nico Brett trying to take it down. Stamped away again. It is all Spokane now. Not content to rest on their laurels. Trivella ball from Denton, took a hop before it could reach Nico Brett. Bowie, lovely flick. Milovanov, way back for Anderson Holt. You can see how compact Spokane want to be. Has shifted to more of a forward the back now for this side as the cloud cover starts to set in. Numbers waiting for it. Nobody making the delayed run. Shot from distance is off the mark. All the green shirts crashing the back line there. Nobody staying short for the pass. And when the cross came in, there was very little room to try and pick someone out in the box. Heel to the far side. Siobhan John Brown is there. Option in the middle. Well read by Anderson Holt. Nico Brett making himself available. Nico Brett again making the run. Cosmos trying to mark the spaces. They haven't picked up Luis Heel. Siobhan John Brown into the box, trying to turn his mark at a very difficult angle. 17-year-old Massimo Morabito did enough to put Siobhan John Brown off his stride. From this angle, you can get a much better look at the Cosmos setup defensively. Now Jordan Chavez marking Nico Brett a little bit tighter, going man-to-man rather than zonal. That may discourage that long Route 1 pass that we've seen in the last 10-15 minutes or so from Spokane. Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner for USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food at 25 East 3rd Avenue. Open 7 days a week. Guenzati, I think he was looking for the option on the near side there, intercepted by his own player. That has been Sebastian Guenzati playing that traditional number 9 role. He has options either side on paper, but he's had to do a lot of hold-up play, use his body, his experience, to try and wait for teammates to join him forward. Sedol has an idea, nearly came off. First to it though was Simon Fitch. Siobhan John Brown, he's very quick and he's got a lane. And Luis Heel in midfield. One more time for Nico Brett. He's gonna get there. Brought down. Penalty to Spokane. Nico Brett has been making the runs all afternoon long. Gets there first. Forces Tristan Stefani to come out of his box and make a play on the ball, which he can't. It's certainly a penalty kick. There's contact there. Brett is going for goal. Referee opts for a yellow card. And now another penalty for Spokane. Second in the span of 4 days, and it will be their captain who can double their advantage on the afternoon. Luis Heel looking to open his USL League One account for 2026. The captain from 12 yards, as if there was any doubt. Luis Heel beats the goalkeeper for pace and gets Spokane's second of the half. Nothing Tristan Stefani can do about that one. And the number 10 doing what he does best and putting the ball in the back of the net. It was his pass that created the move. Take another look at it. Perfect place to put the ball, to force the goalkeeper to make a decision. Knows that Nico Brett has the legs to get there, and then it's just venomous into the bottom left corner. There is no substitute from 12 yards for pure power. And Luis Heel from the spot in the 39th minute gets his first of the young season. Now, the mountain to climb for New York. A little bit steeper, a little more jagged. Against Portland, they lost by 2 goals, 3-1 final score, but they had a lot of chances. Hunter Morris, the goalkeeper for the Hearts of Pine, stood on his head on a number of occasions. Head coach Davide Corti touted him as maybe the best shot stopper in the league. But Carlos Marancio, the number 1 tonight for Spokane, yet to be tested by the visitors. New York still yet to have their first shot. Spokane with 5, 3 on target. Denton sees his pass picked away, has to work back for it. And instead, Jack Denton with a little bit too much contact for the referee's liking. Spengler. Lovely ball with the outside of his left boot. Worked into the area, and that'll sail over the goal. Win big at Spokane's favorite casino, Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino, located in Airway Heights. Headed on by Brett. Gallardo back onto his left. To the near side with Siobhan John Brown. Unselfish ball, and it's 3. Nico Brett gets his goal after winning the spot kick just a few minutes ago. And Spokane are flying high into halftime. Two wingers have switched. Gallardo now on the far side. We mentioned his ability to cut in on either foot, find Siobhan John Brown, and that is an inch-perfect ball through 4 defenders. Nico Brett squares his shoulders, opens the hips, and just guides it into the far corner. Velocity FC are soaring. First of the season for Nico Brett after 5 goals last year. The former goal-scoring leader for the Birmingham Legion, 27 goals in the 2 seasons he was there. Kingston Jamaican native, already a fan favorite in his 2nd season with the club. Ajmir Spengler now. Great ball to the far side. Work to do, though, for Nick Solanka. It's the first time Spokane have scored 3 in a match this season. Last time they did was back on September 13th, 2025. It was a 3-3 draw against Ajmir Spengler and Jordan Chavez when they were playing for Texoma. Both Luis Heel and Nico Brett scoring in that match for Spokane. Ajmir Spengler did as well. Into stoppage time in this first half. It has been all Spokane in the last 20 minutes or so. The first 15-20 minutes of this match was mostly New York, and then once Jack Denton opened the scoring in the 25th, the script flipped. Another chance for the counter. Denton does well to keep the ball. Options waiting in the area. And nearly a 4th. Heel was all by himself. Cosmos back line discombobulated. Jordan Chavez was the only one back. And Luis Heel, against a gaping goal, could not get a definitive touch. Free kick right at the touchline on the far side. Maybe a chance for New York Cosmos to cut into the deficit here. All hands on deck. Sent into the box once again, and this one overcooked, but still alive. No chance to restart play. An emphatic first half performance led by that man, Jack Denton, who started the scoring in the 25th minute. In the following 20 minutes, 2 more goals tacked on to make it 3-0 Spokane Velocity over New York Cosmos at the break. And 45 minutes in the books. Spokane with a large lead, but still work to do to ensure a result. Plenty of soccer left to be played and plenty of stuff coming your way at halftime after this short break.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one.
Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
I love the costumes from the Spokane faithful. We heard the Addams Family theme on the trumpet earlier. Taking the jackets off in this weather, it's got to be kind of cold, right? Scan now and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you, Caruso's, The Burger Duck, Flat Stick Pub, Casa Tap House, Konala, People's Waffle, and Method Juice Cafe. It's a party in Spokane. After half number one, we'll take a look at the USL League One Team of the Week and the players that stood out in the opening matches of the new season. Starting first with Roman Torres, the player of the week for Forward Madison. Hunter Morris, we mentioned him earlier for his performance against the New York Cosmos. Masashi Wada also scored against them. Meanwhile, Lilian Ricol getting the first goal for Fort Wayne in USL League One. Sander Rudd with a similar honor, but this time for Sarasota Paradise, and Chris Garcia with the goal of the week, which we'll take a look at now.
Calazzini flashed that across. Spangler, a chance from outside the area, and it's a moment of history for New York Cosmos. They are level with just under 18 to play.
It's the return of the Cosmos at historic Hinchliffe Stadium. Quick playoff and throwing the 1-2 pass, and Darren Siegel alone for the finish at the top of the box. The goalkeeper is fuming, but Siegel doesn't care. A tucked finish into the bottom left corner. That is your select USL League One goal of the week.
For the Paradise, playing one of yellow. It is taken away. An open opportunity. A kick save. Nice Bolaños. What a save by Bert Shipman.
This week on USL All Access, we'll cover the massive news of Louisville City head coach Danny Cruz stepping down to pursue other opportunities in professional soccer. Greenville Triumph head coach Dave Dixon joins us to talk their ascent back to the mountaintop. Can they find Open Club glory? What is this year's Open Cup made of? And who in the championship has impressed so far? Who do we need more out of?
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
USL League One kicks off. Players Shield winners. He does it again. Their first ever goal in club history. Welcome back, 3-0 after 45 minutes, Spokane over New York. Scan the QR code to vote for your favorite Lumberbeard co-branded can. The winning can will be sold in stadium and select stores next month. Lumberbeard, your preferred craft brewery partner of USL Spokane. For the first game of the week, at halftime, we'll take a look at what is up next. Richmond Kickers take on FC Naples tonight at 6 Eastern, and then all the way at 10:30 Eastern. AV Alta looking to rebound after getting knocked out of the U.S. Open Cup against the Portland Hearts of Pine, who got that 3-1 win over the Cosmos. Meanwhile, Union Omaha against AC Boise tomorrow at 5. That'll be a great game to wrap up the weekend as we take a look at what else is new around the league with Dan Lucas.
It is halftime in League One. We hope you're enjoying your match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines for this week. Forward Madison did something in Week 2 that had not happened since 2024. Hand won Knoxville a loss at home. The defending league champs had gone 21 straight home matches without a defeat. 3 first-year clubs registered their first points in Week 2. Corpus Christi's League One debut ended with a Boo-Boo Medina goal in added time to tie FC Naples 2-2. And first-year club Sarasota Paradise and Fort Wayne FC shared the points in a 2-2 draw in Florida. 4 of League One's 5 expansion clubs now have points through 2 matches. Well, if you walked in late to matches at Westchester SC and Naples in Week 2, you missed historic goals for both clubs. Westchester's Dean Guzan scored just 42 seconds into its match against Charlotte Independence, the quickest goal in franchise history. And Mark Torias did the same for Naples, scoring 88 seconds into its match with Corpus Christi. USL Championship Spanish broadcast coming soon to 2DN. Wednesday the 25th, Lexington SC hosts Brooklyn. Then Saturday the 28th, Detroit City hosts Charleston Battery. That's a look at the headlines for this week. Let's get you back to your match for the second half.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one.
Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at the highlights from the first 45. And New York started on the front foot, but after this goal from Jack Denton in the 25th minute, it was all Spokane velocity. His first of the campaign, his first in almost a year. Scored in April of last year, his lone tally on the 2025 campaign. But 2 goal scorers, all too familiar to the Spokane faithful last year, getting their first of the new season. Nico Brett down in the box after contact with Tristan Stefani, and Luis Heel, the captain, is off and running in 2026. Gets the second of the afternoon from 12 yards out and hits the Suey just to put the cherry on top. One more for velocity in that first half, and it was Luis Heel this time turned provider all the way from the heart of midfield. He's got excellent passing range, and just 4 minutes later he showed it off, starting the move with Joe Gallardo, then Siobhan John Brown one more time, and Nico Brett says thank you very much. Wanted his goal, drew a penalty, and then gets his goal just a few minutes later. 3-0 so far, 45 minutes down in possession. Mostly down the middle. We've seen a couple yellow cards, especially for the visitors, but again, just one shot for the Cosmos. They'll have to muster up a few more chances. Their forward, Sebastian Guenzati, we've seen him playing that traditional number 9 role, checking back into midfield. Haven't seen him really turn and face goal yet with the ball at his feet. See what head coach Davide Corti has up his sleeve to muster a comeback in this second half. The select ball is on the spot. If you're just joining us, Philip Galati with you from One Spokane Stadium. The hosts on the left side of your screen in the black, New York Cosmos on the right in the green. Whistle of Kalilu Jarju sounds, and the ball is rolling once again. Never say die was the mentality going into this one. 3 games in 6 days for Spokane. It has mattered not in the opening 45 minutes. One 0 against Union Omaha to kick off the USL League One campaign. Best scoring half in quite some time as head coach Davide Corti forced into a double change. Julian Locker on up top for Nick Solanka, and Davide Galazzini at the back, replaced by Tino Puentes. Puentes, a New Jersey native, played his college ball with Drew University in the NCAA Division III. Had a couple goals in 2 USL League Two campaigns with Morris Elite SC. Morabito played his academy with the Philadelphia Union, was many times teammates with Kevin Sullivan. As the whistle sounds for Neil Vinyals, bringing down Justin Milovanov. 4 yellow cards in the first half, 3 to the visitors. Cameron Miller, the lone man, walking a tightrope for the hosts. Sent in from range, took a touch in front, still loose, and the Cosmos have one back. Well, they all count the same. New York with the perfect start to the second half. He's flicked on to the path of Anderson Hold and then just pinballing around the 6-yard box. Ajmir Spengler sent it in. Holt got an awkward touch to it. Sebastian Guenzati was there, so too is Tino Puentes. But it is Julian Locker who had the definitive touch. The man introduced at halftime gets his first goal on his pro debut. Make that his USL League One debut. Got his first pro minutes with New York City FC2 a couple seasons ago. There were 4 players in this starting 11 who made their pro debut last week, a number of them making their USL League One debuts as well. Luis Heel tonight on his 100th professional appearance, scored from 12 yards, and now Spokane conceding their first goal in league play this season. Davide Corti told us earlier this week the one thing he wants everyone across the country to know about this New York Cosmos team was, quote, "We will never give up. We always want to try and lead the game, open it up, attack, and take charge, but the most important thing in this sport is to know what you are capable of." And again, New York was on the front foot for the starting few phases of this match. Now they've got so much needed momentum. Spielman shoves off his mark. Ajmir Spengler was going to hound him for that ball, and in the end the whistle sounds. 2 of the best in USL League One going to battle. Denson intercepting. Now a bit of a different look to this match. New York with the 2 substitutes, one of them already getting a goal, freshening things up in the final third. Gonna try and stay right on top of Spokane, not give them time on the ball. They'll get some time here to take a throw. Scan now and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you Caruso's, The Burger Dock, Flatstick Pub, Casa Top House, Konala, People's Waffle, and Method Juice Cafe. Locker, the goal scorer, has Morabito on the overlap. Step back from Milovanov. Chavez. Sidol. Aaron Sidol from the Netherlands. Spent 6 years in the Ajax Academy, revered as one of the all-time best on the planet. Now Locker, 2 defenders in tow, lays it off as he sees a third. Locker again, opportunity for his second big save, the rebound off the bar, and then off the line again! Somehow, Spokane keep it out. Locker in behind, Marancio makes the save. Bowie with the miss from inside 6 yards. And then fired back in and cleared off the line by Cameron Miller. How unfortunate are the Cosmos not to have their second. Spengler with a low corner kick. Second opportunity, stands it up. Bouncing around in the box. Awkward one for Holt to bring down. And Waldeck will do enough to get it out of play. An absolute frenzy in the goal mouth for Carlos Marancio. You saw the emotion, how fired up he was to keep that one out. But New York could and maybe should be looking at a 3-2 ball game. Patrick Bowie with the initial rebound off the crossbar from a few feet away. Spengler lays it off. Locker. And Locker, a real bright spot since coming on as Marancio is forced airborne. It didn't look like a shot from there had any chance to find the back of the net, but Carlos Marancio, well tested. New York with life abound. Holt. Chavez. Bowie now. Ivorian driving inside. Guenzati lays it out for Morabito. And now Locker once again. Found himself back on the near side. So much movement about this Cosmos attack. Totally different from the first half. Lovely ball to the far side, but it's overhit. New York had 1 shot in the first half. It was off target. They've had 4 in the first 10 minutes of the second. One of them a goal, 2 ridiculous saves, and another off the crossbar. Coach Corti says he wants to lead the game. First half done and dusted, but this second half has been all green. On the front foot and pushing for more. Spengler. Lovely triangle passing from the Cosmos. Now Bowie with some space. Big time challenge, he goes down. Referee says nothing doing. Denton trying to start the counter. Nobody's picked up Luis Hill on the far side. Nico Brett trying to make himself available, and the cutback intercepted. Waldeck with the tactical foul. Referee says play on. Spokane have to hurry back. Locker pushing the envelope, going to work on the inside lane, and Simon Fitch is wise to it. Guenzati. Morabito. Julian Lockerson's coming on right on cue again, going 1v1 right at his defender. That's the isolation ball that was missing in the first half, the key to the game tonight for the New York Cosmos. Players willing to take risks, take on challenges. Locker again making space. Morabito with a push and go, and it nearly came off, you know. Creative bit of play from the fullback. Carlos Merencio just trying to settle things down. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get our USL tickets and more for the #1 ticketing site. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Spokane always with an incredible fan environment, and another game tonight. Spokane Zephyr, the Gainbridge Super League. We'll play a little later on in the evening. Here's Locker into the area. Low cross, not dealt with. Spengler's try, deflected wide. More encouraging signs from the visitors, as it nearly fell on a silver platter to Ajmir Spengler, someone you never want to have an open look from inside the box. It looked like Neil Vignals getting maybe a toenail to it to force it wide. Another curious formation, this. Patrick Bowie's inside the 6-yard box, everybody else in a straight line. Defenders spinning away, and it's headed out of touch. This is the ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. To the back post, headed down, and it didn't come off cleanly. Looked like Darren Sidol, who was there. Difficult angle to try and go it alone. Thought he might try and put that back into the mixer. And Spokane mixed things up with 2 changes. Joe Gallardo helped set up the 3rd goal. Will be replaced by Moses Mensah. And Luis Hill, the captain, given an ovation fitting of his performance, as he'll be replaced in the final third by Andre Lewis. Moses Mensah, the Ghanaian, a 2021 USL League 2 champion with the Des Moines Menace. Over 70 appearances for the Birmingham Legion across the last 3 USL Championship campaigns. Velocity fans, get match ready with the latest Velocity merchandise. Shop online or in the team store at the Davenport Grand Hotel in Spokane. A chance for an immediate impact for Mensah into the box, and the cutback foiled by the teenager Morabito. Despite a short preseason, despite injuries, despite players arriving late to training, at the start of the calendar year for Spokane, to have options like Andre Lewis, Anwar Palaez, Moses Mensah available off the bench. Head coach Lee Veman spoke about having starting caliber players up and down this roster. Even Sean Lewis, a League One first team selection last year, the 2nd choice for the goalkeeper spot tonight. Spokane have talent just about everywhere as they push for a 4th. Makes the game that much more difficult for the New York Cosmos, knowing that any player that enters the fray can have an impact. But then again, you look at a substitution like Julian Locker into the match, and he has completely turned things around for the visitors. New York City FC Academy product. Led NYCFC2 last year in assists, was 2nd in goal scoring, and then in his first USL League One game, finds the back of the net. Lewis. Waldeck was there on the overlap, instead to the top of the key. Brett. Fitch has stepped up. Shades similar to the first goal there with the ball movement. The overlapping runs from the fullbacks. Instead, John Brown tries to get creative. Gets the nutmeg. That is the quick feet of Siobhan John Brown on full display. Long whistle and appeals from the faithful here in Spokane for the foul. There was the shoulder from Justin Milovanov. Vinyals on the foul, but the delivery left room for improvement. Locker helped create that first goal. The final touch was credited, in fact, to Justin Milovanov. Apologies for the correction. Excellent sliding challenge. Now Mensah. Fitch. More space in midfield and then just given away. Guenzati dispossessed. You've seen him track deeper into midfield. As Mensah is brought down, the yellow card comes out. It is persistent infringement for Ajmir Spengler. He's protesting. He hasn't had that many calls against him. The referee said no. And there is certainly a foul there, and then you can see the referee immediately reach for the pocket. Made the hand motion that time and time again Spengler was getting warnings, so another yellow card into the picture. Make that the 5th of the afternoon. Spielman out of position, saw the pass intercepted. Sidol sees daylight on the far side, but we trying to get there. Well won by Derek Waldeck. Waldeck, quote, an incredibly dedicated pro. In the words of his head coach, Lee Wiedman, the level of consistency that he maintains is admirable, and all credit to his mentality. Every week, teams throw him a new challenge, and Coach Wiedman says every week he more than rises above it. Squared in midfield, the opportunity from range. Hammered toward goal and bending wide. Spokane, scan the QR code for your chance to win a free water heater from Raptor Rooter and Plumbing, the proud plumbing partner of your Spokane Velocity. Jack Denton again, who was asking the questions. He's making the delayed run now. Siobhan John Brown is onside and does well to keep it in bounds. Back for Derek Waldeck. Continued his run, but no way to get him the ball. And now Spengler stretching his legs the other direction. Slipping it through, and Guenzati is offside. Clever play from Spokane to step up. Right at the last second, it looks awfully close. And again, no VAR in USL League One. But not many protests from Sebastian Guenzati. Mensah showing his composure. That's a poor pass and bounced just beyond Spengler. Rancio toward the stands. And the wind makes sure it doesn't get there. Throw in taken a little too far for the referee's liking, and the fourth official saying it's over here. Clever bit of play from Massimo Morabito, but the referee foiled his plans. Mensah going to the outside, no dice. Spielman in trouble again, and there's a foul. This will likely be a yellow card, and it is. Nick Spielman lost the ball, knew he was in trouble, and pulled back Julian Locker, who, again, the 19-year-old. What a different look to this match since he's come on. Uses his body well to get the inside lane and force Spielman to make a play. And usually as a defender, the smart thing there is to take the yellow card and move on. But it was a free kick, just like this, that led to the first goal for New York. Two arms up from Ajmir Spengler. In-swing delivery is a deep one. This time headed defiantly out of play by Cameron Miller. "20 minutes to go. Philip Galati with you from One Spokane Stadium. The Cosmos pulled one back in the 48th minute. There's plenty of time for more. The chances have been a little fewer and farther between for the visitors. Still seeing plenty of the ball. Spokane playing much more on the counter as that one comes off the referee, who waves play on. So usually you'll see a stoppage if the ball hits the referee. That was a update to the laws of the game a few years ago. But the referee, Khalilu Jarju, thinks New York would have intercepted it anyways and allows play to continue. Guenzati swung into the box, and Mauricio thought about going up for it. The cross a little bit too close to goal for his liking. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Second ball won by Locker once again. double teamed for a moment and almost got a chance to hopscotch his way free. Clever little back heel from Ajmir Spengler, and the referee will sound the whistle against Simon Fitch. His first season in Spokane. After more than 100 appearances and nearly 9,000 minutes for the Richmond Kickers. Richmond native, played his college ball with VCU. Of course, are in the national headlines for their basketball team. It's a poor pass, and Bowie nearly was in a lot of trouble there. Spokane would have had numbers. Cleaned up by Tino Puentes. Spielman trying to connect with Nico Brett. It wasn't on. New York winning the first and second duels now. Keeping the pressure on. Spengler. Unmarked was Morabito. Locker. To the far side now. Chavez won't be the one to put the cross into the area. Sidol lost his footing for a moment. Chavez on a bit of a run, does really well to open up space. And the low cross, not met by a shirt in green. Everyone getting forward for the visitors. It is unrelenting pressure. If New York can just connect a couple more passes with some consistency, they'll likely pull another back soon. And right on cue, the consistency lacking in the search for Julian Locker. Brett scuffed it a bit. Now Spengler sees the diagonal ball intercepted. Brett again weathering the storm and does so well to find Siobhan John Brown, and Spokane are on the counter. John Brown inside. Siobhan John Brown still going, and the move deserved a better finish. Siobhan John Brown had so many teammates to choose from. Instead, goes all the way to the doorstep himself. Now Ajmir Spengler into the box. Lovely move! Oh my goodness, what a goal that would have been, if not for Nick Spielman. An incredible sequence on both sides of midfield. Spengler again. Sidol. Bowie trying to just chip it through. Player goes down. Referee says free kick Cosmos. Take a look at both chances. Siobhan John Brown sits one defender down, makes a second miss, and then fires right at the feet of Tristan Stefani. And then Ajmir Spengler. 2 step-overs, a cutback, see you later, and then Nick Spielman out of nowhere clears it away from harm's way. Unbelievable talent on display in USL League One. That's exactly what made head coach Davide Corti take the job. He was so impressed with what he saw watching film in this league, scouting the players he wanted to bring back to a historic club back in the professional ranks. Training ground play. A pile driver from Darren Sidol. I believe out of the stadium. Oh goodness. You have to feel for the ball kid that has to go get that one. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Carlos Marancio given a caution for a delay of the restart. A little bit early to be wasting time. But there is a saying in this sport that a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous. As it looks like Nestor Cabrera is next to the 4th official and waiting his turn to enter the contest. That's exactly what head coach Davide Corti is asking for. It wasn't a very long wait in the end for Cabrera. New Jersey through and through. Born and raised in Raritan, played his college ball with Rutgers, formerly of FC Motown, and will replace Patrick Bowie up top. Patrick Bowie, of course, the Ivorian, a hometown of his own pedigree from Abidjan, which was where Didier Drogba and Wilfred Zaha were born. Fans want a yellow card, I believe Sebastian Guenzati. So too does Cameron Miller. Has to be careful with what he says. Guenzati wants another yellow card for time wasting. Let's take another look at the challenge. There is a push there. You see the referee on the far side immediately waving his flag for it. Doesn't look like there was too much in that. Miller has drained some serious time off the clock. Brett going over, no appeals from Spokane. Guenzati against Miller once again, and that'll be another push. Spokane want the yellow card for persistent infringement, and they'll get one. Guenzati with his own battle scars from the challenge, but he will become the 5th player booked on the night for the Cosmos. All 5 of those players still on the pitch. I think it's been a pretty well refereed game thus far from Kalilu Jarju, doing well to manage the temper of these players. Are fighting with everything they've got to the very end of this match. 10 minutes plus stoppage to go. Spokane trying to grind out yet another result. New York haven't had a look at goal in a little while, but have still maintained plenty of the ball and dictating the tempo thus far. Great press from Spokane, and they've won it back. The commentator's curse strikes immediately. Looked like numbers on for the hosts before it was given away carelessly. Waldeck making the interception. And another foul in midfield. Nestor Cabrera pleading that he got the ball. Didn't look like it. Cabrera with one senior cap for El Salvador. Rather against El Salvador for Guatemala, with whom he played at the U17 and U20 youth international levels. Vignals to send it in, Stefani claiming without problems. Spokane winning more of those second balls now, and if they can continue to do that and just slow things down, they'll likely be able to see out their third straight win to start 2026. Rancio with a bit of trouble. The ball going out of play means a chance for both sides to make further changes. Eligio Guarino will come in for Sebastian Guenzati up top, and Nick Mendonca slots into midfield for Justin Milovanov. The final two changes for New York, as Nico Brett with a goal and a penalty one, replaced by Anwar Pelaez, named the League One most valuable performer last year. Scored on Wednesday in the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup and had 10 in the league last year for Spokane. Again, despite tired legs from a long week, the talent that Spokane have up and down the roster making them a formidable foe this season in USL League One. All behind Pelaez, who had a lane forward. Instead, right to the feet of Anderson Holt. Scan now for your latest ticket deals for Spokane Velocity FC. Morabito. Chavez. Locker. Spokane just going to sit in the block and try and send numbers back. Turn and go on the far side for Ajmir Spengler, foiled by Derek Waldeck. Now Vinyals tried to play the ball, goes over. Referee says nothing doing. Vinyals still down as play will go on. Sidol. Mendonca. Sent into the box, headed to the top of the key by Cameron Miller. Now John Brown with 3 green shirts surrounding him. Can't get it away. Miller will. Mendonca, a product of the Flamengo and Vasco da Gama academies, 2024 champion with North Texas. Holt. Morabito. Good height underneath this one. Spengler was fighting for it. Player goes down, and Spengler called for the foul. Cameron Miller pops right back up to his feet, which is good to see. Not long now for New York to try and spoil the party in Spokane. Win big at Spokane's favorite casino, Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino, located in Airway Heights. Another foul called as time slowly begins to wind down. A lot of positives to take away for the Cosmos in this second half, but it was a 20-minute stretch where Spokane proved why they have gone to back-to-back USL League One Cup finals. Core of players that have been there since day one, bought into head coach Lee Veeman's philosophy. keep the clean sheet tonight, but will likely start the regular season with back-to-back wins, +1 in the cup, if they can see this one out. Holt. A lot of black shirts forward. Maybe a chance to try and play through. That's what Chavez was looking for. All turned over rather quickly though. Denton making the run. Instead, Pelaez checked back for it. Here's Mensah now. To the far side, John Brown is onside. Derek Waldeck. Lovely idea through for Vinyals one more time, and Pelaez was waiting for it. Again, really clever passing from Velocity. Seems to be an incredible understanding, just an innate sense of where everyone is without having to pick their heads up and look. ICCU corner kick played short. Vinyals the 1-2 with Siobhan John Brown. Waldeck loses the throw. Holt. Morabito. Sidol. Chavez. 90th minute. Spokane faithful bringing the noise. Trying to help see their side over the line. Pass intended for Spengler all the way over the line for the goal kick. John Brown had the studs exposed. That's what New York Cosmos were looking for. He won the ball though, and he's won a foul as well. Another change to be made. As 3 minutes at a minimum will be added on. Stoppage time brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort and Hotel, as 18-year-old Spokane native Rocky Wells makes his USL League One debut. The first ever academy signing in club history. Made his first start for the club in the midweek in the Open Cup against Ventura County. Made his club debut for 3 minutes against the USL Championship side Sacramento Republic in the Prinks Tires Cup. And here he is. Wells forward for Moses Mensah. Trying to show short, but too many defenders back. Locker. Locker gets it right back. Once again, going one-on-one. Clips a good ball in. Fitch was there, but not a good clearance. Sent right back in by Mendonca. And Marancio falls, thankfully, on top of the ball for the Spokane faithful. Lewis. 93rd minute now. Lovely flick by Moses Mensah. Denton off to the races, trying to get separation. Instead, Mensah will send it back. Composure from Spielman now. And there was collision after the fact, and the whistle will sound. It was Ajmir Spengler who clattered into Cameron Miller, and Spengler is already on a yellow card. And it's certainly late. Spengler making an attempt to play the ball. Spokane want the red card, but they get something better in the final whistle. A valiant effort in the second half from the New York Cosmos to pull one back. But Spokane holds strong. They defend One Spokane Stadium to get their second straight win in USL League One, their third of the week. And their strong start to 2026 rolls on. Nico Brett drew the penalty for the second goal and scored the third. That will do it for the 90 minutes plus the post-game show on the other side of the break. Stick with us.
De vez en cuando, todos queremos soltarnos. Solo necesitamos un poco de ayuda. Conozca Un Poco de Ayuda. El Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition 2024 pasa por cualquier terreno para que puedas darlo todo. Obtén una gran oferta en una Bronco Sport hoy mismo. Arrienda una Bronco Sport Wild Edition por $339 al mes por 36 meses o cómpralo con 3.9 por 36 y obtén $2,000 de bono Wild.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
Head coach Lee Wiedemann, all smiles after another win for his side at home. 3-1 the final. We'll take a look at how it all went down. Emphatic first half performance, enough to get the job done. Cosmos started on the front Carlos Marancio made a couple great saves. There was one clearance off the line from Cameron Miller. But in the end, after one shot in the first half, the Cosmos never gave up. Put up an excellent fight, but Spokane held on with plenty of yellow cards in a physical back-and-forth affair that made for excellent viewing. And of course, much more viewing tonight with the Richmond Kickers and FC Naples playing, as well as AV Alta and Portland Hearts of Pine, all on ESPN Plus tonight. Well, that will do it for the opening match of the week here at One Spokane Stadium. 3-1 the final in the first ever meeting between Spokane Velocity and the New York Cosmos. For everybody here making this broadcast possible, all of our production and crew, our producer, Hunter Nixon, I'm Phil Galati, saying so long and have a great rest of your weekend.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.